In today's video, I'm going to talk about becoming the category leader. All right, not just a mere copycat, becoming the category leader in your niche, in your category. I talked about building a movement around your mission yesterday. So this is also a continuation of that topic. If you read the book Play Bigger, I read the book Play Bigger. You learn about becoming a category leader. So when you are building a movement, it's not just about selling your product; it's about ensuring that you are building a niche, you are crafting a niche in which you will be the leader of that niche. You'll be the leader of that specific niche, that specific sub market. That is the whole purpose of ensuring you are building that movement such that that niche, your brand is almost synonymous to that niche, because those who are category leaders, businesses that are the category leaders in any industry, in any niche, they usually have more than 90% share of the market, right? Or let's say, to be very conservative, more than 70% share of the market. Maybe the next 20% or 10% share of the market goes to the second in position, all right, to the second brand, while every other thousands of brands share the remaining 10% or 5% or even 2% of the market. So the reason why you are building a movement just it's not just building a movement to sell your product so that you ensure consistent cash flow. All right, you want to aim higher. You want to craft a niche of your home where of your own, where you be the dominant force in that niche. That is uh, that is the aim. That should be your aim as you are creating your business, as you are starting out, building a movement for your business, and creating being a category leader is first and foremost begins with creating the category in the first place, and creating a category begins with how you frame. First, it begins with what you are about selling, your mission. It begins with framing it in such a way that it looks uniquely different. So it's determined by the kind of people you want to serve, their unique problem, and how you will frame that, especially if you are creating something that is new. If your product is creating a new opportunity for your particular audience, then you want to ensure that you are the category leader of that niche you are trying to craft. For example, CRMs used to be in computer disk, in CDs, in DVDs, until Salesforce came in, and then they decided to have their own CRM as a software as a service. So you don't have to purchase CD and then install the program on your system. No, you can just log in and then you have access to the CRM. But before, while they were still building Salesforce, while they were still building that software, the leader of the company, the CEO, began evangelizing the problem of today's solution, so that he wants to condition the market to see that there is a problem in what they are presently using. Because if you are the dominant voice evangelizing the problem you are solving, because the market does not always know that they have a problem, even though they have a problem, they don't always recognize that this is a problem I have. Like I said in some of my past videos, the unaware market is the market that is the largest segment of the market. The unaware audience. There's unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and the most aware. The unaware audience is the largest segment of the market that you'll be serving. So your first duty, and as a category, building a category leader in this new industry you want to carve out of the former industry, you as the leader of the brand, you are the evangelist of your brand. You are the evangelist of that category. All right. So the leader of Salesforce began to evangelize the problem of this of the present CRM buying disk. the impact on the environment, all of these problems that people were not being aware of, or some problem that they were even aware of, but they were not even thinking of it as a problem. All right, how that you have to install and wait before your system boots and all of this before this the very obvious problem and the one that were not so obvious, it began to evangelize it to the point that newspaper began to carry it. It publicized the problem. Newspapers, magazines, everyone began to carry the problem in CRM disk and all of this, such that people now began to recognize that we think there is a problem with what we are using. So when people have accepted that there is a problem and they have been agitated, now they want a solution. That was when Salesforce launched, right? Because you were the dominant voice evangelizing the problem, they want to hear the solution from you. It's just like Joseph in the Bible. Joseph, the dreamer, the son of Jacob, when he was in prison and the king had a dream that troubled him. Nobody could evangelize, could interpret the dream. When Joseph came, Joseph interpreted the dream. So he told them the abundance and then there will be problem after 7 years. Now he was the one who could decipher the problem. Who else will they choose to solve the to create the solution? Of course, it's Joseph. That's how he became the second in command in Egypt. All right. That's how he became leader in Egypt. So if you want your business, your brand to be a leader of a new category, of a new niche, especially if you are framing your product as a new opportunity, not just me too opportunity. You are framing your product, what your product does, you are framing your offer as a new opportunity different from what your audience is used to. You want to ensure that, especially if it is actually new in its unique mechanism, it might not be new, just that you are framing it in a new way. That's good. But if you actually put a new mechanism in that product, for example, instead of software as a CD, all right, inside a disk, you are making your unique mechanism is a software as a service. That's a very unique mechanism. So it's not just you framing it, you are framing it, but it's also actually different, actually new in its functionality. You want to ensure that you evangelize the problem so well, people identify this new industry with your brand. That is what you want to do. Your goal is not just to sell your product, your goal is to be the niche. Your goal is to be the dominant force in that market. Your goal is to be the one people recognize when they think about this problem. They identify your brand as a solution in their mind before they even think. When anybody think about pizza, they think about Domino's Pizza. When they think about electric car, they think about Tesla. Tesla is not the only electric car. In fact, when Elon Musk created the first Tesla and all of that, you know what he did? He put his products, the what will I call it? Is it their what it is whatever, he puts it into open source, the code, everything he put into open source. Why? Because he wanted to be the leader of the this new niche of electric cars, but you can't be the leader if you don't have followers, if you don't have people, me too people. All right. He wanted to be the leader. Number two, he wanted people to adopt this new way of these new models of cars. He wanted the audience. He want to create a category of audience. He wants the community, people to adopt this very fast. People will only adopt this very fast when there are also competition. All right. So when it was open, when it open sourced, is the is software. All right. Yeah. The software. It looked like it was foolish that he was creating competitor for himself, but the thing is that everybody already recognized Tesla as a company producing electric cars. Open sourcing it means those um, uh, means means people it could create more companies can emerge. With more companies emerging, people begin to see that there's availability of electric cars and people begin to open um, to the idea of buying electric cars. Now you identify Tesla as the dominant electric car manufacturer in United States, even though there are other electrical manufacturers in the United States. So when Apple released iPhone, they didn't just call it a phone; they call it a smartphone. Of course, there have been smartphone before Apple, but the way Apple frame first and foremost their brand like as an innovation, just like I told the story yesterday, and the way they advertised the iPhone made iPhone the new thing, all right, and made smartphone the new thing. Of course, in the United States, iPhone is the dominant phone, followed by Samsung. That's second in the market, but majority of the market is owned by iPhone, all right, of smartphone. So this is the goal of your business, is that you want to be a category leader, and you're a category leader if you create you are, you are a category leader if you create a new niche, a new category, all right, for your business. And that will happen if your business actually has especially if your business has a new mechanism, if your product has a new mechanism, but more especially if you can frame your products as a new opportunity for the market. So that is what you want to do. So once you understand the unique mechanism your product has, your offer has, and understand how to frame it as different from what people already have, then the next thing you want to do is to start evangelizing the problem. Start letting people know about the problem uh, they face with the current products they are having, or the problem they face with their business, with whatever they are doing, depending on your category of of market that you are trying to serve, the problem with whatever is happening with them or their business or their marriage or whatever you are trying to sell to them, and then the problem with whatever they are using at the present. All right, why it is not serving them well, the defect of this present problem, of this present solution. All right, when you evangelize that problem, then people begin to see the problem that they were not seeing in the first place. Now they begin to question, okay, what is the better solution? That is when your product comes in as the better solution. All right. So it's not enough for you to just market and show the people that you have something new. You have to, like I said yesterday, build a movement rapidly so that you are seen as the dominant leader in that niche. Because if you don't rapidly build a movement by rapidly evangelizing your the problem and your offer, other companies too can just create the same innovation that you've created, and if they have bigger money than you, they can evangelize the problem more than you. They will overtake you. All right. So the first person in the market is not always the leader, even though most often they are always the leader, but not always. It's the first person that evangelize the problem and evangelize the new solution. They are the people that retain the market and become known, synonymous with the specific niche that they are playing with. So that is what you want to do. So you're not just building a movement for building a movement sake. You are building a movement because you want to be the leader of the movement, the leader of that industry, the leader of that niche. And it begins with having a problem with discovering a problem people have that they know now that they have, or they don't even know that they have. Having a product that can solve that problem, especially if the product has a unique mechanism, a unique way of solving the problem that the present solutions do not have. Of course, the unique way will have to be way more better than the present way people are already solving the problem. And learning how to frame that offer. All right, frame the offer you are giving people as this new opportunity that solve the problem easier, better, faster, right? The new way of solving it, and then go out there evangelizing this problem, letting people know they have problem, letting getting people agitated about this problem, until people begin to ask questions about what is the solution, and then you evangelize the solution. Then people begin to ask, okay, which products can we buy? Then you evangelize your offer. You have to do this as very fast, especially if you are just launching that new niche, that new category, that new product. You want to ensure that your products dominate the market before people start catching on, and then they are replicating um, your products and creating their own product. You want to dominate the market. You want to shout. You want to make noise in the market. Even if some people don't buy, they have to know that this, when they think about this problem, your product is the solution that comes to their mind. Even if they don't have the means to buy now, your product is the solution that comes to their mind. This is what you want to do, right? So you are building that category, that category has several ecosystems. Just like I said yesterday, your employee is part of the ecosystem. The retailers or the wholesalers and retailers are part of the ecosystem. The consumers, the end users, are part of the ecosystem. Your affiliates, whatever, they are all part of the ecosystem. You are building them at once. But before you do this, your employee must understand your mission. They must understand the vision. They must understand how to communicate, how to frame this new opportunity, so that anybody that come in contact with your business, your employee can adequately sell the mission and the vision to them. That is what you want to do. So you're not just selling a product and just being part of the people who sell this product. You want to think big. You want to have a big vision, a big goal to dominate the market. In fact, to be the leader of the market, to be the leader of the category. That is how Apple, when it comes to smartphone, Apple is the leader. When it comes to electric car, you think about Tesla. There are other brands that build electric car. You probably don't think about them. You probably don't even know that they exist. They have their own small audience, but the first person that evangelizes the problem is the first person that dominates the market. There are many CRMs, but you will remember Salesforce. There are many social media, you will still remember Meta, Facebook, and Instagram. They are still in your mind. But there are other social media that you've probably not registered with, that you probably don't use. But Facebook, Instagram, they'll always be in your mind, right? So it's good to be the first in the market, but it's good to be the first person that evangelize, the first business to evangelize the product, evangelize the problem, the solution, and the product to the market, and evangelize it so well that people recognize your brand as the leader of the market, as the leader of the category. Yeah, that is what you want to do. You want to beat you want to position your brand as the leader. So everything is about framing and is about publicizing. You frame it and you publicize. You frame your products as the new opportunity and you evangelize the problem itself like crazy. So when they think about their problem, they think about you. When people think about pizza, they think about Domino's Pizza. Think about smartphone. You want to use the most luxurious smartphone. You think about Apple products, iPhone, right? So you want to be the leader of the market. So that is the video, or that is the lesson I want to share with you in today's video. And I hope that I'll be able to share something with you tomorrow and Sunday also. But peradventure you've not registered to join our waitlist. I'm giving out two premium courses, email secrets, email marketing secrets, and meta ad secrets. I'm giving out these two premium courses once we hit 7,000 subscribers. All you have to do is to go to pmi.ng waitlist, pmi.ng/waitlist. And if you want to work with us to help you 10x your business revenue with our digital marketing services, All you have to do is to go to pmi.ng. You see apply to work with us, click the button on that landing page, and then answer the 10 need assessment questions. Then schedule a 45-minute session on the next page, and we'll be in touch with you in that session so that we can see um, your needs, your problem, discuss your needs, problems, and see how we are fit for you, and we can assess how your business is fit for us to work with, so that we can decide whether or not we work together. So go ahead, go to pmi.ng and apply to work with us, schedule a 45-minute session with us. Right. I hope you've learned a great deal in today's video. If you've learned something, share this video in your network. Let your friends, um, your network, let them watch this video and decide to play bigger, create a new category, and become